don't have an even dashboard, so okay. Anyways, so I've been debating about how I should do the intro to this video. I have been filming all week, and a lot of things from fun, positive things have happened to some really challenging, awful lows have happened. And so this is just kind of my life, how my week goes, and you know, it's Sunday, this is my editing day, I'm sitting in front of my parents' house, so I haven't been able to look over my footage yet, so we'll see how this all turns out. I went out for Mister's birthday, we went out to Morton's Steakhouse, we went to Haley Paley's, the Tiki Bar, my sister got out of the hospital, and my parents are tired of being attacked, and they're getting older and they can't deal with it anymore. So she's now living on the streets, homeless in a shelter, and I meet up with her and we talk about that. And I just kind of talk to you about stuff on my mind and stuff that I'm dealing with, and try to throw in a couple fun little things too, just so this isn't just so... So this is going to be interesting. This jacket.
What do you think?
Yeah.
Sure it's not too big?
I think a large is the size you want. You want a coat a little bit oversized. That's what you want. You don't want it to be skin tight on a coat. Because what if you have some like sweatshirt underneath there and it's bulky?
Oh, we wearing a sweatshirt and a big ass jacket?
Well, you might. Because you're not going to wear the coat inside the wherever you're at. Trust me, you're going to want that. You'll regret it if you don't.
So, Morton's Steakhouse, such as Ruth Chris Steakhouse and many other great steakhouses, originate in Chicago, Illinois.
Okay.
Now, what's significant about Morton's is the first ever franchise to really create that upscale dining experience was the Playboy Clubs. And the Playboy Clubs were a combination of Hugh Hefner and the guy that would go on and own Morton's and start up Morton's on his own. And so...
Oh, they knew each other?
Yeah, they were in business together at the Playboy Club, based out of Chicago. Take a left here.
So what is this? Esther?
It's Morton's escargot. It's the only escargot that has little puff pastries on top. Dipping in the dipping sauce. So what you do is you do this with the pastry out the way.
Why is the pastry there?
Soak up all the delicious garlic butter. It's incredible. You got that little sea snail right there with the garlic butter all over it.
Okay.
Hot.
I've had like smoked oysters. I love smoked oysters, but I've never had this. You can't really tell it's like seafood.
You can't tell what?
It doesn't have like...
It's not like seafood.
It doesn't have like the snail flavor.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, what a memory this would be.
The ring went off at the bike and you were in the bar. Oh my God! What?
What is this?
It's the Wagyu Snake River Farms, New York, center cut. Fuck the jacket. I'll catch hypothermia. Okay.
So I was able to get a larger one for your birthday.
I'm very considerate, man.
There we are.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. I'm gonna split that open for you in just a minute.
Alright.
Make a wish.
Yep.
Shay's gonna start singing happy birthday in a second. Awesome. Yes. You guys enjoy.
What's this?
Matches? Want a toothpick?
Maybe.
Hands. Want mint?
Mister, you're just giving me, I'm supposed to give this to the valet and now you're giving me all these other things in my hands.
Sorry.
I know it's okay because my hands are full and...
Hey guys, how's it going? Good. Doing very well.
Thanks, sir.
Yes. Tell you what's going on?
Ah.
Yes. They left the lights on my car and then let my battery die and then they had to jump my car. Like, how unprofessional is that?
Oh, at least you came to the cucumber suck off last year, so I'm not too mad.
Okay.
I turned the hazards out.
I swear that my car is like a ghost in it that haunts me with the craziest things keep following me in this vehicle. Don't you think, mister?
Yes.
I need to find my phone
Car's cursed.
before we go anywhere. Okay. What?
Just had time to have an elaborate saltwater fish tank.
What? That's a random thing to be thinking about. You want a fish tank?
Yeah, it's therapeutic.
Tiki lounge.
I'm not literally, I don't even know, I called no one a bitch. I literally say that to no one. I don't even know why the fuck I said it. So, as to
Oh man, they're doing paper straws here now.
Yeah, because you can't give regular straws.
Horrible. Like a goblet right here.
Ooh, it's just an old foggy evening.
Fucking done.
How do you feel about turning 40, mister?
Man, I'm really excited about it. Very fortunate.
Are you being sarcastic?
No. Never thought I'd live to be past 26, so
Why?
just had a rambunctious youth. Childhood. Was up to no good. I just knew a lot of people that died.
Yeah.
So, if I found 40 and I'm right here, it's fucking incredible, honestly.
Call it a day, cause I'm holding them tight. But long as bitches exist and these hoes are alive, I'ma ride, hit them with the old muskets, get the ducks, and hopefully hit both nuts with the nuts. I've been on some impact stuff, I'll say it, they go my bitch to make my nuts.
Maybe you've noticed, maybe you haven't, but I didn't do this to my hair. These weird pieces of short hair. The back of my hair dryer fell off. I don't know how that happened, but it still worked, so I kept using it. And then my hair got sucked into the back of the hair dryer, and it apparently has taken off pieces of my hair. And I'm really upset about it because I've spent so much time trying to grow out my hair because my hair is very thick and it can be like amazing. But now I'm starting over. Now it's gonna take me like another 5 years to like see how the hair, I wanted it to be down like here and all thick and full, but now there's like these weird short pieces in it. It's like kind of embarrassing. Let's see out here. Ugh. It is kind of a rainy day, wet, but at least it's not pouring down. But at least my toes look good, right? I think I did a good job on that pedicure that I did on myself. I'll tell you a secret. So, paint your toes at night and then let them dry. I use a hair dryer to kind of try to dry it faster. And you're probably not going to get the paint perfectly on your toes. Like some of it's going to go on your skin a little bit. So then the next day when you get in the shower, when you've been in the shower for a few minutes, your skin's going to kind of, you know, get that moistness to it. Take your fingernail and run it along the side of the nail on the skin, and it pulls off all of the extra paint that was on your skin, and so then your toes, they look perfect. Let's say I had like paint right here. I would just run my nail like this and like that up against the skin area along the thing, and all that paint that was on the skin there would just come right off, and it would make it look perfect. And so that's kind of how I got some of it still happening. So I just run my nail like that in the shower, and anything there just comes off. I guess I can show you what I'm lounging in today. It's just, I like it when things match. So this is just my black sweats. Nothing too exciting. It's nice to kind of be cozy in the rainy weather. When I was a teenager, I used to think that this curve right here on my hip was awful and disgusting, and that it made me look really fat. But as I get older, I think that that's probably what's attractive about it. So this is a victory moment for me, and I'm very excited about this. A perfume company reached out to me and saw my perfume video and asked me if they could send me some perfumes to review and say what I think about it, and I'm super excited about that. And I just want to give them all a chance for a couple days and see how they settle with my skin and everything. I have often said jokingly, well, if they knew the answers, they could have just called me. Well, maybe now they will. I have been trying to think of how I'm going to do my perfume video. I feel a lot of pressure because the other one did really well and it seems to be like a popular thing. And, you know, I'm not a professional. I'm just a girl that loves perfume, and I guess that's what they want, is a real opinion about a person that would really go and buy it and tell their friends about it. You know, my sister isn't doing very well, and my parents, you know, they're getting older and they couldn't really have my sister in the house attacking them. And you know, there's this belief that, well, if you're mentally ill, then you're just going to go in the state hospital. If, you know, you can't live on your own, and we're discovering that that's not the case, that the state hospital is full and they're very selective with who they allow in, and that there is a very long waiting list, and my sister can't get on it. And that's a lot of the reason why here in Portland there's so many homeless people. And there's a lot of homeless shelters. And if you followed me and you know me, you would know that I had, when I was 19, I had made a documentary on the homeless in Portland. I had volunteered at a homeless shelter, and it's just really awful. And, you know, I ended up in the middle of a murder case, you know, because one of the guys I interviewed for my documentary ended up being one of the main suspects in a murder case. You know, just my luck, right? And that's a great video. That's really my favorite video I've ever made. And I definitely go back and watch that and watch the whole thing, because I kind of threw some of the footage at the very end of me sitting with him talking. Anyways, so my sister is now living on the streets. I haven't really talked to her too much about it. I'm hoping to get her on video here, and we can just have some real life conversations about life, you know. People like to say sometimes, well, you'll get through it, whatever. Yeah, well, maybe you'll get through it, but it doesn't mean that your life is better afterwards. It doesn't mean that you're happy. It doesn't mean that it was some wonderful learning experience. I have had a number of things happen to me that I would never wish upon anybody. And did I learn from it? Yeah, I learned some things I didn't really need to ever know, you know, like I really like tiki bars. I like anything that makes you feel like you're on a vacation when you're not on a vacation. And I'm getting a jail phone call, so we're gonna answer it.
Hello, this is a collect call from an inmate at Multnomah County Detention Center. Our records show you do not have an account or
See,
enough funds to complete this
They
call.
always try to make you pay so much
To pay
money.
for just this call using your credit or debit card, please press 1. You may start the conversation now.
Hello.
Hello, beautiful.
Hey, Lion, how are you?
What are you doing? Who are you talking to?
I was filming a video, so I just left the camera on.
Who are you entertaining?
Nobody.
Oh. I
Who
heard
are you
talking
entertaining?
about my darling Mrs. Lioness.
Lion,
So, what's up, Shorty? Is you gonna come?
Did
smile at me?
they approve my visit?
Yes. I told you I was putting it in.
So, Rachel, how would you like to explain your situation? Let's just kind of do an overview for anyone that doesn't know. So, you attacked our parents.
Yes.
The police came. Why did you attack them?
Because I was mad at them. Because they fucked Kristen and I over so many times. Did nothing but fuck us over. I had to go to a treatment center for bipolar disorder, and I was forced to take a medication that made me worse. It caused brain damage for 1.5 years.
Why do you think it made you worse?
Because I would cycle up and down, like violently. I didn't have any other medication.
Okay.
Didn't have an off medication either.
So, in the result of...
It was like suicidal to laughing my head off over nothing. To suicidal to laughing my head over nothing.
What medicine is it?
It's Geodon.
Okay, so we need to give the beginning part.
Okay.
So, you were at what age did they diagnose you with a mental condition?
19.
19. Did you feel yourself changing?
I felt a very rapid change, which I attributed to Kundalini.
What's that?
To spiritual energy that makes you kind of loopy.
Okay, so what is it that they diagnosed you with?
Schizoaffective disorder.
And you've gone in and out of the hospital for it. And do you remember what you do when you're off your medication?
Usually, but I didn't remember attacking my parents last time. I don't remember what happened.
You don't remember?
I don't remember what happened right before I got to the hospital last time.
So it's like a blackout?
I don't know if it was a blackout or it's just my memory's shitty.
So tell me what happens when you go into the psych ward.
I have to stop listening to music.
They tell you can't listen to music?
They take away my...
Well, do they tie you down and inject you with medication?
They have done that before.
And so they have made it so Rachel can't live with them anymore, so Rachel's been living in a homeless shelter.
Yeah.
So what is it like coming from the psych ward to going to a homeless shelter?
It's not... at first I was okay with it. And then... I've been trying to socially integrate myself because I was very isolated when I was living at home. I was incredibly socially isolated, and that was a problem. It was a very big problem. And I've been drinking.
And you're not supposed to drink alcohol with your medication.
Yeah.
So how do you feel? Do you feel like you've been abandoned?
I feel like death is at the back door. And there's a wolf on the front door coming to get me, and I have nowhere to go but to scream my head off and bleed.
Look into the lens.
Bleed.
Are you alright?
Yeah. Remember when I attempted suicide a year ago?
Yeah.
It's because I thought I was gonna be on the streets. I woke up from a nap. I'm like, shit, in a year from now I'll be on the streets.
Has it been a year from now?
Yeah, it's been a year.
Why did you think you're going to be on the street?
Probably intuitively picked up on it.
It's just a situation. It's just a situation that people really don't have an answer for, Rachel. It's like, it's not that nobody cares, it's just that nobody knows what to do.
Well, I don't know what to do either.
Yeah. So on a positive note, I'm going to show you my outfit. I know a lot of you like to see my clothes, and I want to show you this little tracksuit thing that I got. So it has the Medusa embroidered into it right here, which I really love. And it has this pattern here, I don't know what it's called. It's on the cuffs here as well. Oh, and it has the matches here like this, has the drawstrings, pockets. Yep. There you go. How do you feel that we are now leaving the house and being taking you to a homeless shelter? That he is dropping you off at a homeless shelter. How do you feel about that?
Confident.
Confident?
Yes, confident. It is a homeless shelter.
It is a homeless shelter.
Supposed to get her there by 6:30 and it's 6:24 right now.
It's just before 7.
His nose lights up when Christmas time, like Rudolph.
So tell him when to get over.
See, this is the homeless shelter.
Rescue mission. Bye, Snug. Have H.
That's not. What brought you to do this?
What do you mean?
Well, I already interviewed Rachel earlier, so we're getting your side.
What side of what?
Why Rachel's in this situation.
Well, she needs to learn how to move out on her own.
There's more to it than that. It's because you couldn't deal with Rachel attacking you.
Well, it was going to be at some point she's had to learn to move out, okay? And that certainly was the thing that sped up the time scale.
So you thought that since Rachel's mentally ill and not doing well, that was the best way to go?
Well, we wanted to get her in the state hospital, but we couldn't.
Because it's too full?
Yeah.
Why do you think they have this belief? They make everyone believe you can go to the state hospital, but they don't let you know how difficult it is to get into.
Because it's used to be more easy, and then they cut back the funding for everything, and they didn't say in the funding for everything. Of course, this means that more mentally ill people will be in the street. They never mentioned that when they wanted to cut back the funding.
Well, I think it was kind of obviously going to happen.
Yeah, but people who wanted to cut back the funding.
Only because it doesn't apply to them, and they don't want to pay for something that doesn't apply to them.
I don't think it's going to apply to them.
How would you describe Rachel and her mental condition, dealing with it?
Well, she still thinks that she has spirit guides, and that what she's going through is a spiritual situation, not a mental illness. So that's less than ideal.
Before you witnessed Rachel and her mental illness, do you think that you didn't really fully understand what mental illness was?
That's correct.
How would you describe to somebody that has never experienced being around a mentally ill person what it's like?
Well, they aren't the people you knew anymore. went from somebody who was just having a hard time with life, which is sort of like every single teenager, to something worse than that.
But there wasn't like it was just a suicide attempt. See, I just think that's kind of like where a lot of teenagers do anyways. So to me, that wouldn't be the point.
You think it'd be after that point or before it?
I knew as soon as she started telling me things, like she told me there was a person that died in a water slide that was coming and talking to her.
Yeah,
and
well, that was but she didn't say that. I don't know.
What have you learned from dealing with doctors and stuff like that?
Well, that there isn't a real good knowledge on what to do about mental illness.
Do you think it's just because it's such a case-by-case situation, or there's just not enough knowledge in general about mental health?
Both. I mean, it's, you know, the doctors are all trying, but they're, you know, they have these different things that they can try, and different sort of therapies and different sort of drugs, and they have the problem that it's so individualized. There's no underlying model for how to deal with this, and so
it's kind of like an experiment.
Yep, it's a constant experiment.
So this video is from one to themselves person to another. I'm very to myself, and I don't have a lot of friends. And this video is kind of for anyone who's alone a lot, maybe has a hard time making friends, and just needs someone to kind of hang out with, and just puts on the video while they're doing stuff, or lays in bed and just kind of listens and watches to my thoughts and my day, and we're both having a lonely time together. So if you want to see what's going to happen next in my life, if you want to hear what I have to say, since it's going to be something interesting, that's for sure. Remember to like and subscribe if you haven't already. And I think you're going to have to hit the bell notification button, the little bell button, in order to like get notified that my videos are out, or you might just miss it. So I'll see you next time.
I swear they make these things to teach people to absolutely hate themselves. Oh goodness. It makes my eyes look all crazy and huge.